Hey, so I bet you're wondering, what is the most efficient way to be grinding these camos in Black Ops 6 Zombies? So in this guide, I'm going to be going over the best attachments to be throwing on those guns. However, I'm using a base level gun for this, so if you guys do not already have your guns leveled up, this is going to be helpful for you guys. But I'm also going to be going over the augments that you guys should be using. But, you know, if you don't have any augments, you can probably skip over that part. But some of these augments are super helpful, so I would recommend grinding some of these up. But most of them are up to you if you guys want to be using them or not. And then lastly, I'm also going to be going over the best strategy to be using to be getting these headshot kills, these elite kills, these mangler kills, all these special challenges out of the way as fast as possible. So for the augments, so starting from Juggernog, starting from the perk section, I would personally recommend having probiotic. It is really up to you though. I just like having that extra health, and then hardened plays, you know, more damage mitigation is always good, but Juggernog is one of those perks where you can customize it to how you like it, maybe like the classic zombies feel of having turtle shell or something like that. It is really up to you for what you choose for that perk. Stamina up is a little different. If you have it fully researched, I recommend using Stalker and Hard Target. I don't recommend using either of these two because Hotfoot, you need to, you know, you got to take away some of your kills. Quarterback, that's just useless. Hard Target is the best in my opinion, as if manglers are shooting at you while you are like running away from a huge crowd, you attack sprinting, you take less damage from those cannon hits. And then if you do have this fully researched, I recommend Stalker, because when you're backpedaling, when you're shooting into a whole crowd, it makes it much easier to not get hit and keep up a little more so you can get more headshots in and be a little bit more efficient. But if you do not have this fully researched, Dasher is just fine. And especially if you do not have PhD Flopper researched all the way to the 5th augment, I do recommend using this over Stalker, just because having the extra movement speed for a little bit longer is going to be helpful. And then for Speed Cola, I do recommend Classic Formula. It is the best. It's the best for just increasing your reload speed, getting the most use out of Speed Cola. It is the first perk I get every game, specifically just to be able to reload faster. I do not like having my gun down at all, especially if I'm using LMGs or slow reload things like akimbo pistols, that sort of thing. It's just better for that. None of these minors matter that much. I just like quick swap the most. And then for Deadshot Daiquiri, this is super important, but it's just bad because it doesn't have a perk machine on Liberty Falls. So if you would rather have this earlier on or not do the free perk Easter egg on Liberty Falls for Deadshot, then I would just recommend doing Terminus Island, because, you know, there's a perk machine for that. But anyway, I would recommend Deadhead for most general uses. If you are doing pistols, or if you were doing the LR762, I would recommend Dead first, just because when you have all those zombies and the guns start to fall off pretty quickly, just using this, that way if you hit something in the head, it'll go down much faster. So that is what I would use for those specific scenarios. But Deadhead is the best for general use, like ARs, SMGs, that sort of thing. And then Dead Break is the best for this, because having those armored zombies go down a little faster is always going to be super helpful. But you can use Dead Draw. Dead Set is terrible, do not use that. But Dead Draw might be good for those hipfire challenges, but honestly, just, you know, just use Dead Break. It's the easiest one to use. Quick Revive, I don't have any of these researched, but if you do have it researched, I'd recommend Dying Wish, and probably none of these minors. These all kind of suck, especially if you're doing solo. This doesn't really help anything. So but if you're doing team, I don't know, just choose what you like. So Dying Wish, any of these minors, that's what I would recommend. For Elemental Pop, I'd recommend Citrus Focus. This is by far the best for this, as there's 2 or 3 ammo mods I'd recommend you use, and it is super annoying if you're just shooting into a huge crowd of zombies and all of a sudden the Shadow Rift ammo mod kicks in, and all of a sudden like half your train is just gone because you got teleported away. So I'd recommend Citrus Focus, so that way it's you know, whenever it activates what you want it to. And then Chillberry, this is great for reducing all the ammo mod cooldowns, because ammo mods are super effective for helping you get those critical kills in. And then PhD, like I said before, you want Tribologist for this miner. This is by far one of the best miner augments in the game, just because it basically just like gives you so much speed. Even if you're barely sprinting, or if you have an LMG in your hand, you'll still go super far. It'll give you so much movement speed. If you like dash off the top of a car or off the top of the gas station, you're gonna go a crazy distance. So it is by far the best, one of the best miners in this game. And then I don't really care about the majors. I just use Dr. Ram because it is sometimes helpful if you're sprinting past the crowd and one of them gets in your way, you just hit it out of the way. So It's up to you though. Melee macchiato, once you do get to the pistols, I'd probably recommend using espresso and then probably stick and move, just because, you know, that makes it a little easier to shoot the things you're trying to hit. And then for the ammo mods, the augments I recommend for the ammo mods are Brain Rot, Cryo Freeze, and Napalm Burst. I would not recommend Deadwire or Shadow Rest for this. If you're on Terminus, Deadwire might be good for taking down those amalgams and for doing that Easter egg step for the Beam Smasher, but in general, I'd recommend Brain Rot. It is by far the best for lining up those headshots. If you get Pheromone, basically turns the Brain Rot zombie into a temporary decoy grenade with a super small radius. So if you're firing into a crowd, one of them becomes a Brain Rot zombie, and then it'll be super easy to align all those headshots. It can take you out of sticky situations sometimes, but it is up to you though. In general, either Plague, Pheromone. I'd still recommend Pheromone though. And then Extension's probably the best miner for this, because, you know, right when you get that zombie, it'll stay as a decoy for a little bit longer, so that's always going to be helpful. For Cryo Freeze, I would recommend Ice Cloud and Freezer Burn. Big Game might be good, but there's Napalm Burst, that's usually better, but I'd recommend Ice Cloud and Freezer Burn, just because this, when you're firing into a huge crowd, it has the chance of making this ice storm like the ice staff from Black Ops 3 or Black Ops 2, whichever Ordnance you played. And then all those zombies, if you have Freezer Burn, they're going to take a little bit more damage. This is super helpful for the challenges on the LR76 or 762 and the GS45, where it is impossible to get those headshot kills when you pack punch it because they become explosive. So this is going to be helpful for that. And then the last one I recommend is Napalm Burst, especially once you get to those Opal challenges or those Nebula challenges. Big Game, Extension, those are also pretty good, or Contact Burn once you unlock that, because getting those elites down, those manglers down, this is going to be super helpful to take those down, because they have that elemental weakness. Oh, and also and then for the field upgrades, I recommend Frenzied Guard. And like I said before, you have Frenzy Fire, so this is going to be able to use ammo from your stock, so it's like that stock option Gobblegum, but as a field upgrade augment. So once you get into those sticky situations, you can just rip that whole magazine out, and you don't need to worry about it unless you have barely anything left in the tank. But it is super helpful, especially with like LMGs or any of that sort of thing, and you can just let it all out. And then I recommend Repair Boost or Extension. Either of these are good, but I would recommend Repair Boost just because you're probably going to be using it when you're in more of a sticky situation, and being able to repair more armor per kill is helpful, so that way you take less damage. But those are all the augments I do recommend for this, for the most efficient way to camo grind. Alright, here are the 4 most important attachments you guys can be throwing on those guns for Black Ops 6 Zombies camo grinding. And the first attachment that you guys usually will unlock is an optic. I'd always recommend throwing an optic onto your gun of choice, just because that makes it much easier to align those headshots. Sometimes the iron sights are bad, so I would recommend throwing one of these on as soon as possible. So at the very least, throw an optic on those guns. And the second most important attachment is going to be a suppressor. This will have the chance to drop extra salvage, and this helps because salvage is what upgrades your gun's rarity. It's basically like a secondary pack punch. It just increases that damage of that gun, so it is super helpful to throw a suppressor on there. That way you get more salvage, you can upgrade your gun sooner, and if you guys are lucky enough, you might have a purple pack 2 gun by round 10 on Liberty Falls. So it is up to you though. I still would recommend throwing a suppressor on there. For the third attachment, I would recommend getting the CHF barrel. This is going to help with multiplying your headshot damage, so that way if you guys shoot something in the head, it takes more damage, goes down quicker, and for critical kill challenges, this is always going to be super helpful. But you're going to take a hit to your vertical and horizontal recoil, but it's zombies, so it doesn't really matter that much. As long as you guys can control it to some extent, and you guys can still hit those headshots, it does not really matter that much. Usually this comes pretty late in the unlock process, so if you guys don't have it, don't worry about it, but it is helpful if you guys already have that unlocked, or if you get it unlocked after 1 or 2 games of using these guns. So it is up to you though. And then for the fourth attachment, I would recommend getting an extended mag, 1, 2, or 3 if it has a 3 or even a 4 on some LMGs. I would recommend throwing those on. It is always helpful to have more ammo in zombies where you have hordes of stuff attacking you. That way you guys can dump a lot without having to reload, and you have more in the stock usually. So it is up to you. Once again, but this is what I do recommend for all the attachments on your weapon. You have up to 8 slots on all of your weapons to be using, except for some of these secondaries like the pistols. You do not have up to 8, you only have up to 5, but I would recommend using all the attachments that you guys can. So for this, I have rapid fire, steady aim laser. That's the only one you really need because it's going to be shortening down that hip fire spread. And then ranger foregrip, that's going to help with some horizontal recoil and that sprinting speed. So if you guys can get more movement speed, more straight speed, more hip fire accuracy, more bullets per second, any of that is going to be helpful for this grind, as long as you're not, nerfing yourself too much. Just make sure you're having those good attachments on there, but all the rest of those are up to you. Make sure it fits your playstyle so that way you're having fun and the grind stays consistent for you. For the rest of my loadout, I just have the knife on. I don't really use the baseball bat usually because it comes at level like 52 or something like that, so I recommend just throwing the knife on there at all times. And then for the field upgrade, I do recommend Frenzied Guard. I'm going to be going into Augments in just a second, so just look out for those. But for this, I do recommend Frenzied Guard. It is super helpful to not take away any of your kills. Makes all the zombies target you. They already were, but you just get your ammo or your armor refilled every time you get a kill, so it helps a lot for that, especially if you get cornered. Just unload all your bullets into that horde of zombies that's keeping you held up, and then you can just get out. It's like a get out of jail free card that benefits you in the long run too. However, Healing Aura, Ether Shroud, those are both good for getting out of those situations too, but Frenzy Guard I would say is the best for camo grinding in general. And then for the tactical, I have a decoy on. You have pretty much 3 options. Smoke is good, concussion is good, decoy is good. I'd personally recommend the decoy the most just because it helps get the zombies off of you. Smoke kind of does the same sort of thing, but in a different sort of way. You have to throw it and then walk inside of it, and you can't really move around. So decoy is super good for those late rounds especially. So if you're like going to pack a punch inside the church and there's 2 tiny entrances, just throw it outside right before you go in, and then all the zombies are going to stay out. You can easily leave the church and not have to be in that super confined space for too long. But concussion is also good. You just throw that into a crowd of zombies and you don't really need to worry about them. You can also use this to do the mangler head on top of the church that makes all the zombies rain down. You guys can use that as well, but I would still recommend the decoy over everything else. Speaking of that zombies falling Easter egg, I do recommend using the frag for that. You have it from level 1. It is super good in general, just to throw in crowds as well. But everything else, these are going to take kills away from you, so I would recommend just using the frag grenade. It is the easiest to use. I do not have any gobblegums. This is just the base gobblegum pack that it gave me, so I do not recommend using any of those. It's a finite amount. You don't have infinite amount of them, and you might want to use some specific gobblegums like the just a second. Like the Hidden Power Gobblegum that makes your gun instantly legendary rarity. That is good for the GS45 and the LR762. That's going to help. And then you also have Killjoy and Temporal Gift. Those are going to make your insta kill power-ups last super long, so that way you don't need to worry about not having those guns pack-punched in those later rounds. So those are probably going to be the best to use otherwise, but in general, you don't really need Gobblegums. So really just do what you guys feel, and you guys don't need to worry about it too much. So in this guide, I'm just going to be using a base level AS Val. I have a few kills from getting it from the mystery box, but other than that, this is completely base level. I have no attachments here besides the optic that I unlocked from a previous assault rifle. This is my last one I need to unlock, so I still need to do all of the critical kills, all of the special challenges, and all of the Mystic Gold and Opal challenges, which I'm going to have unlocked once I get this gun gold. But in general, this is what I'm just going to be using to start out this guide. Alright, once you have everything set up and you guys are ready to hop in, just going to select that mission, hop in a game, hop in a solo game, and make sure it's on Liberty Falls. This guide is pretty much the best on Liberty Falls. You guys could be using Terminus because you do have those things like the Elemental Pop Machine and the Deadshot Daiquiri Machine, which is helpful, but in general, Liberty Falls is going to be the easier map, especially for this, where you have the huge open training areas, and you have the jet gun for some of these challenges can be helpful as well. But in general, I do recommend Liberty Falls for this guide. So once you're ready, hop straight in. Alright, so right when you hop in the game, you immediately want to turn on the Rampage Inducer. This is going to help with flipping rounds much faster and making the zombies run at you much faster, so it helps a lot for that. And then you're going to immediately hop onto this balcony right here that causes all the zombies to run outside of the room that has a jet gun in it. And then you're going to hit the vending machine. You want to hit that vending machine every single round, especially in the early game, because you do have a really high chance of getting really good stuff. Most of the time, you're going to either get essence, salvage, or some type of grenade, or like a decoy or a smoke grenade or something like that. But other than that, you're just going to run around this area, train up the zombies, headshot all of them, and then if you get like a nuke or a double points or any of those power-ups, I recommend popping them when the next round starts. But if it is a nuke, pop it at the end of the round so you don't lose any of those headshots. And then we're just continuing to train up all these zombies, get all those headshots, get as many as you can, so that way you guys maximize the amount of kills you get in every round. Then again, we just got another salvage, so we're just going to continue hitting that every round, training up these zombies. Here we just got an insta-kill. We're just going to pop that, save some ammo, just hit pure headshots, and that's going to be it. And then right here, we do get a blue ether tool. This is exactly why I should be hitting this vending machine. This is super helpful. At this point, I could skip the church step, but I'm not going to, just to show you guys how it works. But I did get the blue ether tool, so you guys might have a little bit less of like damage during these rounds. But it doesn't really matter, especially in these early rounds. Zombies are going to be pretty easy to kill still. And if you guys do get a double points during a round, I'd say just pop it right then. Don't wait until the next round, because you guys are still going to be maximizing the amount of points you get. When a bug round does happen, the best place to be camping and farming all these vermin is on top of the spawn area. You guys can just hide in this corner right here. All the vermin are just going to come towards you from the front. You guys don't need to worry about any other angles. They're going to hop down from the left right here, and then they're also going to be popping up on the right side right here where you drop down to the gas station, and they're just going to be feeding them to you. It's going to be pretty easy. You don't need to do anything, and you're just going to wait there essentially. And then once you get to a high enough round, after you've beaten about round 6 or 7, you can turn off that Rampage Inducer. You should have at least about 13k points, I would assume. Still hit the vending machine if you guys can. I got stunned right here, but it's fine. And you're going to immediately shoot at those pool balls on that table. That will drop a 100 essence, so if you have a double point going, that will help. And then you also want to be dropping on every perk machine. I missed the PhD there, but it does help with just min-maxing all of those points that you guys can be earning. But at this point, you should have enough to just go straight to pack a bunch, immediately pack that. But please do not, I repeat, do not up the rarity of your gun with the arsenal machine right here. But you guys can add an ammo mod, which I do right here. I put brain rot onto my gun because, like I said before, I like the augment that it gives. It allows for all the zombies to pile up on top of each other. But we're just going to stay here, grind up these kills until we get to round 10. Please do not do the church blowing up the head thing, because that will give you a green ether tool until round 10. Once you hit round 10 and then you do this Easter egg, it'll get you a blue ether tool, which will save you 1,000 more salvage than if you were to do it on round 8 or 9 or any of the rounds before that, because it costs 1,000 to get it from that green to that blue rarity. So I would just wait. Your pack punch one gun is going to be just fine for getting these kills. So effectively, just continue to grind them up right here. This is also the third best spot to be grinding these headshot kills, or to be training these zombies at, because all the zombies will kind of funnel themselves into this one little alleyway. So I would say this is pretty helpful for shotguns, or like the sniper rifles, where you want to maximize your collateral kills or you don't want them to come close to you. But once you're ready, hit round 10, you're going to cook up a grenade, throw it up there, and then you're going to see all these zombies flying down. They're going to either be dropping essence or salvage or some score streaks. And then finally, once all of these zombies have dropped, the last one is going to drop you that blue ether tool. And once again, it has to be on round 10 or above for that blue ether tool to drop. So yeah, just wait till round 10, do this trick, and then once all the zombies fall, you're going to get that blue ether tool. Also, any score streaks that you do pick up here, you don't really need to use them because it will take away some of your kills. But we're going to be switching those out for a chopper gunner or mutant injection later. And so right there you could see the blue ether tool I dropped, or that got dropped, and I put it on my knife because my AS Val already had a blue ether tool on it from the vending machine. So But at this point, once you get that blue ether tool, you're going to continue farming up until you have at least 15k, and then you're immediately going to put Pack-a-Punch level 2 onto your gun. Also, if you farmed up enough salvage to get it to purple rarity, please do that, but sometimes you just get unlucky like I am here and I don't have enough. But once you're ready and you got that Pack 2 gun, hop down here. I would immediately recommend that you open up this zip line right here and this door right here. We are at the phase where we are grabbing perks. So right here I do have enough to up to purple rarity after I killed a few more zombies. So I have purple rarity Pack 2 by round 11. It is super helpful. But now at this point we are just grinding up those headshots, maximizing our point gain, killing manglers, whatever the hell. And then we are getting enough points to grab Speed Cola, Juggernog, and either PhD Flopper or Stamina Up. It is up to you what perks you get though. Those are just the perks I recommend for this stage. I would probably hope that you get at least Speed Cola if anything, but Juggernog is helpful to make sure you guys don't die. And PhD or Stamina for having that good movement speed for when we have all those zombies that are eventually going to be popping up once we reactivate that Rampage Inducer. So also, when you guys are grabbing those perks, I recommend that you guys do dolphin dive into them so that way you guys can skip the animation for those perk activation, like drinking animations. Also, inside the bowling alley is a really good place to farm those vermin if you guys are not in that spawn area, so I would recommend just hitting in that back corner. But once again, we are just in this area farming up these headshot kills, maximizing the amount of headshots we get, and then once you have enough points, grab those last few perks. I just get PhD right here so I can slide around, and then I also get that stamina up. Alright, and then I hop up the zip line, and I would like to open up this zip line back to spawn. You guys can only open it from this side, so I do recommend grabbing that. But once you guys are back in spawn, you guys have all your perks, reactivate that Rampage Inducer, and continue farming up those headshots in this area. And then once Abomination spawns, I recommend prioritizing that, but sometimes it is hectic with all those zombies, so you can try to take all the zombies out first, and then take down that Abomination, and then not have to worry about it, because unfortunately it does not stop the round from flipping if you guys do have an Abomination. But once you do start getting manglers during every round, I recommend taking those out first, because their attacks do make all these zombies fall down, so it'll make some of your headshots mess up, and they're just annoying to go against in general. So I recommend taking those out to begin every round, and then you're just taking out every vermin, and all those vermin rounds up here. They do take a while, so yeah. And then here's the gameplay of one full round if you guys are interested. Alright, and then once you guys have 32,000 points or more, then you guys are ready to go to Pack-a-Punch level 3 on your primary weapon. So make sure you guys have at least 32,000, because it is 30,000 to up that gun to Pack-a-Punch 3. And then this zip line right here, it does cost 2,000 if you guys already haven't opened it up. So I'd recommend just throwing a decoy out here so that way the zombies don't close you guys in, and then get Pack 3 on that gun, and then return back to spawn. Alright, and then once you guys are back here, you guys are going to stay here until you guys have 14,000 points, so that way you guys have enough to get to level 3 armor. So if you guys didn't already level up that armor before to to armor level 2, just get that 14,000 points, head back over, and then get that armor. Also, if you guys have enough salvage at any point during these trips over to Pack-a-Punch level 3 or to that level 3 armor or back to the Wonder Fizz once that happens on round 25, make sure you get up that gun to legendary rarity, and then you guys are ready to continue grinding up. Once it is round 25 and you guys have at least about 15k points or more, then head to the Alamo, get that Wonder Fizz, get the perks you still need, so everything but Melee Macchiato if you guys are not running a melee build. And then also Sam Trials, I'd recommend using those every now and then, because all these purple-eyed zombies that still remain are going to be pretty easy to take down, and they are still going to continue spawning all the way up until that round is or up until that Sam Trial is all the way done. Those Sam Trials also do give good rewards. I will get more into that at the end of the video though. But once you get to round 31, I would recommend immediately calling in that exfil chopper, and then a nuke will go off, and then you guys are immediately going to hop back up here, head back to that Alamo rooftop, and then if you guys have a chopper gunner or a mutant injection, then I recommend using those. If you guys don't have it, then you know, you might have you're gonna make this exfil a little hard, but I'd recommend standing right where the chopper is gonna land, calling in that chopper gunner, taking down that abomination as your first priority, because those do sometimes jump off the roof, and then you guys can't shoot them for a little bit, so you have to take it down once you're out of the chopper gunner. But essentially take those zombies down as fast as you guys can, so that way you guys maximize your efficiency in this step. But this time I did it a little too fast, so the exfil chopper wasn't already there, but usually it'll already be there. So right when you guys exit the chopper, you already are using your interact button, and you'll immediately hop into that chopper, and then you guys will be free to leave the game. So here's my successful exfil. I got about 1100 critical kills in this game. I could have been a little bit more efficient. I had about 200 not critical kills, but at this point, if you guys were using a base level gun, you guys should have new attachments to throw on your weapon. But at this point, you guys just use whatever attachments you guys want, and then yeah, you guys should be good to hop right into that next game. Alright, like last time, calling in that rampage inducer, hitting that vending machine, hopping up on that balcony, and then we're just going to continue on this fast speed gameplay, just like before, training them up in this area. This is the best area to be training these zombies, so this is where I do recommend that area next to the bank is the second best, and like I said before, the area in the alleyway next to the church will be the third best area to be training these zombies on Liberty Falls. On Terminus, it's going to be a little different though, so I don't really know exactly what the best spots on that map are going to be, but just like last time, calling it off at round 8 or round 7, pack punching our gun, getting that ammo mod on there, and then once we hit round 10, just going to do that church Easter egg, and then we're going to have that rare ether tool drop, and then we're going to have a blue gun for the rest of this match, and save 1500 salvage. So also in this game, I was trying to get the jet gun because this was the match I was going to get opal on all these assault rifles, but unfortunately at the end of this run I do save and quit because the 2 special challenges I need for the ASVAL are both on Terminus, or at least one of them is on Terminus, so I ended up finishing both of them on Terminus. But when I tried to hop back into the save didn't save, so I lost it, and then I have to do this all over again. So I will get into doing the jet gun steps when I am in that match, so kind of ignore me building the jet gun here. I will show you guys how to do that eventually. Alright, and right here I do believe I get the purple tiger camo, so I hit it on about round 24, so if you guys are fast enough, you guys can continue and get mystic gold by round 31. But here's where I do save and quit because I needed to do both of these special challenges. So you see it says saving, but unfortunately after I finish my Terminus challenges, it does not save. And then here is where I finished my Deadwire challenge, so I hit it by round 13 on a different map. So it would probably take me about till around like 26 or 27, but in the same match I also finished those parasite kills. So once you are ready, then you guys are ready to hop on over back into your old save. But right here you can see it just canceled my save, so that was unfortunate. So I had to start a new match all from the start. So here is that. I immediately do the same thing, rampage inducer, maximizing those kills. And then right here I do kill the groundskeeper. He only shows up every couple of rounds, so if you guys cannot find him or are training in a different area, you guys can also check your minimap because he will show up as a little red dot on the minimap even if you guys are not close to the cemetery. So just be doing that and check for the groundskeeper every few rounds. But if you guys are on the opal match, or the match where you guys are trying to get opal, I do recommend getting the jet gun so you guys can go into those higher rounds where there are more manglers that you guys can be killing. It is super helpful to have a gun that can just take down all of those small base zombies as fast as possible. But once you guys get enough points and you guys are ready to move on, grab that water valve from the flower shop, use the tool shed key on the tool shed, grab the handbrake, and then you guys are ready to continue. And then I believe I head pretty quickly back to the Liberty Lanes area, and then I immediately start the water valve step. But right here I am still farming up those points and doing the SAM trial right here to try to get better stuff, but I don't. So here I am doing the water valve step. So yeah. Also right here in the middle, I do finish those Mystic Gold challenges, so once again, if you guys are fast enough, you guys should be able to finish this in just 2 games, but unfortunately, since my save did, not save, I was not able to show that off, but I do have additional gameplay at the end of the video that proves that you guys can get it pretty quickly in just 2 games. But here I finished that valve step, and then I also buy a Mangler cannon from this workbench right here, so I can start getting that last piece for the jet gun, to make this a little bit more efficient in those higher rounds. And then here I am grabbing that Mangler cannon right there. Boom, got it. Head over here to the radio store, shooting that at that door. You guys can also bait a Mangler into shooting it for you. It is a little bit difficult, but I have done it before, so you guys can too. But once you guys get that last dig pile dug, then you have the electric wires. Head back over to the jet gun room, build that jet gun, and then you guys will be able to steamroll a lot of these early zombies. And good thing about the jet gun is that the pack punch only makes the cooldown better. It doesn't necessarily increase the damage, because the damage will always stay constant. It will always do infinite damage to those high round zombies, but the only problem is the reload speed. It will just charge up faster if you guys have it pack punched. So if you guys are taking out those Manglers with your primary weapon and then just having the jet gun take care of everything else, that is the most efficient way to be grinding those opal camos. And then once you guys are done with all your opal camos and you guys are on the afterlife grind, then you guys can just start out a match, and you guys should have it done before round 10 if you guys are good enough, because honestly, just grinding up those camos is going to be pretty easy, as it's just 20 kills without getting hit. So just turn off the rampage inducer so you guys don't have those crazy fast zombies that just swing at you before you're even next to them, and then you guys get those cheap shots on you. But just kill 20 zombies, and just to make sure, let one hit you, kill another 20 zombies, and then let it hit you again. But here I am just grinding out all these Mangler kills. I don't get it in this video because I thought it was 10 Mangler kills that I needed, but it turns out it was 30, which I forgot because it was a while since I did my last opal grind on those pistols, which is about last weekend. But it was just an example on the strategy, and I do end up getting about 19 kills in this game, but I do exfil in round 31 because I thought the game was weird, but I was just wrong. So just continue this until you guys do finish that gun. And then once you guys are finished with that gun, you guys can either spin the mystery box or find another one of the guns in that class that you guys are trying to get opal on, and then you guys can finish it out. Because you guys do already have the jet gun, just throw a napalm burst on that gun that you guys are using, so that way you guys can kill the abominations and those Manglers as soon as possible. But right here you can see I did finish all those challenges on this second to last assault rifle on round 35 in the second game I was using it. And then I was able to exfil and do those SAM challenges, because you guys can get Deadshot Daiquiri or Elemental Pop before that Wonder Fizz comes. And then, yeah, it's just much easier in that sense. So if you guys are doing the camo grind, I do wish you guys good luck on it. But other than that, this has been it. I wish you guys all good luck on all of you guys' future endeavors. So I will see you guys later.